Hey everyone, today we're going to take a look at the Marvel Legends 6-inch action figure of Lilith. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, or even hit the super thanks button. I do appreciate all engagement on my channel. Quick look at the box. There's a whole new format for this wave with the Strange Tales logo up front, figure clearly displayed on the plastic window, Strange Tales logo at the top with that plastic hook, and down to the bottom we have product information. Down to the side, sinister artwork of Lilith. Over onto the back of the box, she's projecting some energy over here, description of the character, other figures in the wave, and more product information. Finally, onto that last side, once more a small artwork over here, and the name clearly displayed. So let's go ahead and open this one. And I dropped her cape on the second tray behind, but the main figure over here is on the first tray with her two alternate hands and the Blackheart Builder-Figure arm and alternate hand. The set of alternate hands have the fingers sculpted splayed out, and there's decent definition with the lines on the insides of the hands and the fingernails visible. This set of hands are hinged in and out. And being a wielder of dark magic, I much prefer these alternate spade hands to give her that spell casting look over her default fists. Technically an accessory, she also comes with this mossy green cape, pointy ends sculpted at the bottom as well as a couple of folds in the fabric. But otherwise it is just a smooth sculpt with that peg that goes into her back. This one pegs in firmly and it's small enough to not get in the way of posing. She does feel extremely light in the accessory department, and definitely could have used some power effects for her dark magic casting, but sadly we don't get any of that. So Lilith is terribly shortchanged in the accessory department, but can her sculpt and paint make up for it? I would say the overall presentation of the figure is a mixed bag. Most of her body is on the Shriek body mold, with the pins at the elbows and knees concealed, and aside from paint applications it looks very plain. However, that head sculpt looks phenomenal. So zooming into that head sculpt, and you can see that the Hasbro Marvel Legends team have gone crazy in a good way with the amount of paint applications and detail on this head sculpt. In packaging it already looked like fantastic work, and when you contrast it against the more simple artwork, I'm really happy with how the figure's head sculpt turned out. I mean, just look at that level of super sharp detail in the paint applications and sculpting. The purples, blacks, yellows, and whites are all looking fantastic in the eye area. She's even got a little bit of spray for the blush on her cheeks. And finally the lip color and teeth all are pure laser sharp. The lip color even has a subtle metallic sheen on it, so that shine and gloss really add so much life to this face sculpt. There's green for her earrings that match the green of her cape. And finally, what you would consider their hair sculpt is a separate translucent dark gray plastic, giving it that smoky look. It's not that thin but still flexible, so it shouldn't get in the way of you posing her head and neck around. And it does come with a couple of holes, looking like it's tattered, so this is a nice bit of detail down the sides as well. It's light enough so it doesn't become too top heavy like a lot of female Marvel Legends hair sculpts. So after I'm done gushing about the head sculpt, now we go on to her body, where I'm a little bit disappointed. Now removing the cape so we get a closer look at what else is on the body itself. Her torso and arms are cast from that purple plastic. White paint for the plunging neckline, as well as the fishnet detail over here at the top of her chest. Now looking at it straight on, the fishnet detail doesn't seem to be applied symmetrically, and that might disturb your OCD. We go down to her arms, and it's got that fishnet paint as well, starting some way down the middle of her bicep and ending with the separate white plastic pieces for her gloves. She's got white plastic for her hip joints that go into a silver metallic plastic for the rest of her legs. It's got that swirl in it because of the usual metallic effect. White paint for the top of her thighs, and an overlay of the black paint for the fishnets. You can see the fishnet painting over here is also messy down the side of her left thigh on my copy. Now all that detail and fantastic paintwork in the head is in stark contrast to the very smooth and almost textureless body that we've got. So while Hasbro has tried to make it look a little more interesting with the different colors of plastic and paint, the fishnet pattern looks quite messy and only goes so far in terms of adding some detail to the body sculpt. With the lack of textures, she looks very plain, to the point that the head sculpt and the body don't seem to look coherent. I've also got some white paint splatter over here on her right calf, and it's all over the right lower leg, so I'm gonna have to clean it off myself. So while there's a lot of paint applications on this figure, Hasbro could have done a little more in terms of textures. For articulation, she's got a ball hinge at the neck, so of course it goes 360, getting that very good range of sideways tilting, looking down very far, and looking up quite well as well, because that hairpiece can also flex out of the way. Swivel hinge at the shoulders that goes 360 and goes out a very good range. Upper bicep swivel for 360 with the double hinge at the elbows. Pins are concealed for very good range. Swivel hinge at the wrist that goes 360 and also bending in and out. Once again, that joint is well disguised because she's got those glove cuffs. She's got the mid-torso ball joint, so that one does spin all the way around. She does get the sideways tilting as well, bending forward just that much and backward a lot more. Ball joints at the hips that go out that far and also forward and backward. It seems like the paint applications are also quite durable. I don't see any scraping from the friction in that hip joint. She's got a mid-thigh swivel for 360 and double hinge at the knees for very good range, and at the ankles with a tilt up and down and pivoting outwards and inwards. Some small effects could have gone a long way into adding more value into this Lilith figure, so I don't know how Hasbro could have completely omitted anything, considering how many effect parts they already have in their designs. And you have to borrow effect parts from other figures. It's very apparent that it immediately breathes life into all her poses and matches that same energy and detail in her fantastic head sculpt. At this point, I am pulling out the 4 Horsemen Mythic Legions Magic Effect Pack to see if it works with Lilith. Shout out to the 4 Horsemen for doing great work. Although the 4 Horsemen Mythic Legions action figures do have a chunkier aesthetic, the small magic effects do work very well with Lilith over here. I'm actually surprised by how well they fit around her gloves, and they do look convincingly attached to her arms. And this red color, evil looking skull effect part looks great on her, along with that dark lightning effect part as well. So I have to give the 4 Horsemen credit for saving this figure with those extra effect part pack. For size, Lilith stands at almost 6¼ inches to the top of her horns, and that's almost 16 centimeters. For size comparisons, here she is with Blade, Morbius, and the 2 Ghost Riders. Yes, Morbius is customized with the head from Masco, and Danny over here has got his boots swapped with the G.I. Joe Classified Series Crimson Guard to fix his height issue. And here she is with Doctor Strange, Damon Hellstrom, Moon Knight, Man-Thing, and Dormammu. And for comparisons with other lines, here she is with G.I. Joe Classified Series. So is Lilith worth the pickup? I believe a head sculpt makes or breaks a figure, and in this case her head sculpt just about makes up for the inadequate sculpt on her body and stingy accessories. We're very likely not to get another version of Lilith in 6-inch scale, so this one barely gets a recommendation from me. Please like and share this video, let me know what you think in the comments below, subscribe to my channel, or even hit the super thanks button. Thanks for watching, take care and stay safe.